Hi everyone, it's Leo Lustig here with the Real Estate Forum. We specialize helping Americans and US foreign investors. We have financing options, we have courses, we have mentoring, we have great deals for you, and a lot of education. So today we are with day 3 of Yossi Golan. Hi everyone. So whoever doesn't know, we have the forum in Hebrew and we also have the English version. So you're welcome to join us. All right. So today we are with post number 3 from Yossi Golan, Land in Israel and Risk Management. All right. In a previous post, we analyzed the issue of new land construction in the US and detailed a list of issues required for examination in the decision-making process on land acquisition. But what is happening in the Holy Land? The answer in a nutshell, even more complex and challenging than in the US. This post is unique to the world of agricultural land. So let's start. Thawed and approved land for construction, unlike agricultural land, has a very low risks, but also has low entrepreneurial profit. Therefore, we will deal with agricultural land, the huge entrepreneurial profit inherent in it, and the risks. Many investors want to purchase agricultural land in Israel. The purpose of the investment to create a passive future profit resulting from the increase in the value of the land and as a result of a change in its designation. Some investors want to do so in Israel with the intention of spreading risk between real estate investment abroad and in Israel. And most of them out of the desire to purchase a property that is linked to the rising real estate prices in Israel. So whoever doesn't know, Israel didn't have any crisis in real estate, like the 2008 crisis that happened in the US never happened in Israel. And the prices since then just went up and up and up and up and up. So, we didn't see any such crisis like it was in the US, because in the US, as you probably know, it was mortgage crisis, too much inventory. There was approval for toxic loans, but all of this on a different post. All right. So it has been said from the beginning, the critical step, which has the greatest impact on the value of the land. Here is the completion of the tow phase for construction. Let us explain for a moment the concept. The process of towing or change of designation means changing the designation of the land for land that is not approved for construction, let's say an agricultural land, to a land designated for private, saturated, commercial construction, etc. So in Israel, there are certain kind of lands, like also in the US, that simply is just for agriculture. It's not meant to be built. So I guess, I'm sure like Yossi and others are speculating or checking to see if there's going to be an expansion of, let's say, a current town or city into these lands, and then the necessity of turning these lands into land that you can actually build on. So when we come to consider the purchase of land that is not intended for construction, we must consider a large number of considerations, and the most important of which is the length of time until the end of the process of changing the designation. That is the period of time that will elapse until we see an increase in value in our investment. It is clear that the longer the process, the less attractive the investment. Let's take an example to illustrate with realistic numbers. Agricultural land is currently sold in an excellent location in Horesh. Horesh is a city in Israel for about 300,000 new Israeli shekels. Right? So the value of the land, as told in new Israeli shekel, is 1 million shekels. So basically, to get the dollars, you need to divide. Currently, it's about 3.3 shekels for $1. So you need to divide by 3.3 to get the dollar amount, just if you are wondering how much is that in dollars. Suppose that after a praise tax and expenses, a profit of about 500,000 shekels remains. And here comes the dimension of time. If the thawing process lasts 5 years, an annual profit of 100,000 new Israeli shekels will be created, which is an annual return of about 33%. However, if the thawing process takes 25 years, an annual profit of new Israeli shekel of 20,000 new Israeli shekels will be generated, which is an annual return of about 6.6%. And in practice, even much less if we consider inflation and interest-bearing issues. While case A is a good deal, it is clear that in case B, it is not economic, entrepreneurial good deal, with the only difference between the cases being the duration of the improvement change of the use process of that land. It should also be noted that most investors do not sell the land upon thawing and cut an oil coupon, but continue to build entrepreneurship as part of purchasing groups to increase profits several times over. So how do you get started claiming a tax deduction? The answer: this world is very complex and depends on many variables, from the local committee through the position of the district committee to the entrepreneur's ability in promoting the program and ending with the state of economy. In this post, we will try to get to know the most influential elements of the process when we come to make a wise economic decision. The explanation will come in the following example. A few years ago, a friend came to me and asked for my opinion on a land deal that should provide him with the right to a housing unit in one of the cities in Israel. He approached me because he knew that my specialty was lands with a change of use. With the intention of showing me how successful the negotiations were, he told me that out of 200 units in the project, about 100 units were sold. Moreover, he showed me that while the average price at which a unit was sold is 300,000 shekels, new Israeli shekels, he skillfully lowered the price to only 270,000 new Israeli shekels in negotiation with the developer, 10% below the market price. My first reaction was that it would not be reasonable on my part to advise him on the matter, as I do not know the city where the land is located, nor the city building plans, nor the city craftsmen, nor local nuances, nor for the forces working to advance and reject the plan, no material details, and many more. However, it's a friend. So Yossi still tried to help this friend, and let's see what happened. And in order not to return his face empty, I promised to perform an initial general examination and ask him to send me an up-to-date draft, a deed draft, which was handed over to me the same day. The next day, I presented my opinion in this language. As long as the issue was open to me, I would decide not to purchase the unit unless I am presented with material information that will change my mind. The friend was confused. After all, only yesterday I told him that I did not know the plans, nor the city, etc. How the next day I already have an opinion and even tend to the side of not buying? I explained to him in a picturesque way. When I come to examining the purchase of an agricultural land, I have a number of traffic lights, indicators, or like red lights indicators of which I operate. At the end of the exam, these red lights produce an indication for me, or a traffic light, red or green. Green is a go, red is a no-go. The big perception, beyond a few red no-go indicators, I cut off contact from the deal. So basically, Yossi is saying, is checking for green lights and red lights. If there is a certain amount of red lights, is simply back off from the deal. The first traffic light I checked already gave me a red indicator, and for this reason, my tendency was to disconnect touch from the deal, unless all other traffic lights experience a green indicator. So the question arises, what is the same index traffic light that gave me a red light, but only based on the same taboo wording? I will explain. The wording of the taboo allowed me to examine the 190 units rights sold and the purchaser. I found 190 private individuals who each purchased a single plot of 160 square meters. This information was visible to my friend, who even mentioned it to me when he said that 190 buyers examined and decided to purchase. So they purchased it together. Musha in Hebrew means like they bought it in a one big land that is not divided, not personalized. To my friends, this seemed like a good deal. Many buyers seemed like a reasonable deal to 190 suckers. Why? My working assumption is that my friend and I are not the most powerful sharks in the sea, not because of lack of capabilities, but mainly because we do not have the full range of information and because we do not know the project in depth. And most importantly, the same working assumption holds that in the city in question, as in any city, there are local real estate sharks, people and companies who have a lot of information, a deeper understanding than us, many years of familiarities with the block and the plots, threatening surgeries and insights from in-depth analysis. Sharks with connections and knowledge that sometimes only their hand can achieve. Therefore, almost always, where there is a large and excellent entrepreneurial deal, the working assumption assumes that they will find not only private buyers, but also companies, professional entrepreneurs, connected and close people. The same sharks will also almost always purchase several units and even a whole area or two per suspension, a few yards, not a single 160 square meter unit. In addition, in many cases, the deed wording contains the names of senior and well-known appraisers, entrepreneurs, companies, stakeholders, and connected in one way or another to the municipality or to its head today in the past. So let's stop here for a second. So basically what Yossi is saying, he saw this land that 190 individuals purchased a lot in that land all together, and not a specific lot, but they purchased everything all together. But he didn't see any known, well-known big sharks buying into it. So his thoughts are, if there is no one like that buying into this land, most likely it's not a good land. Most likely it's not something that is desirable. Okay, let's continue. Because these sharks have way more information than most people. So if there was any plans to build in this land, like to turn this agricultural land into a buildable land, most likely you would see these sharks buying in. All right, so let's continue. Because in the current deed wording only private owners were found and each of them purchased only a single unit. Okay, so he realized that it's regular people that could only buy a single unit, like sharks would buy many units in there. So whoever doesn't know, in Israel it's very common, like the all kind of like commercial buy this land in a great location close to the ocean and you will become, like for the assumption that you will get rich out of it. So basically many individuals can buy lands in there, but eventually if you don't see any of these sharks buying in, so most likely it's a red light. A partially owned traffic light issues a red indicator. Own traffic light is a component of an array of traffic lights that I built so that the resulting map provides general insight into the investment, whether the investment is worthwhile or not. This method has been perfected into weights and scores so that at the end of the day, you have a pass or fail score that is given to the project, since there are traffic lights that are of greater importance than others. Just examining the traffic lights will help you in the examination. So here are the details of the traffic lights. And you already know the first traffic light. All right, number one, partial cost. The presence of owners who are appraisers, architects, city developers, recognized developers, real estate companies, etc. Do the owners each own a unit or two, or are there factors that hold an amount in excess of 5? How many are there? Okay, so this is like we spoke. Do we have any people that know the details that already bought land in there? Okay, number two, examination of the statutory situation. Master plan, NAP, color, examination of objections to the plan, the intensity of the objection, the identity of the objectors, and the nature of the objection, the identity of the attorney hired in favor of the objection, procedure, duration of the opposition, the date of the beginning of the first opposition, and the last day. Number five, the number of units for construction in the entire complex compared to the number of residents in the city. Number six, the height of development cost with an emphasis of proximity to a developed area. Cases are known where municipalities have not started development due to the enormous cost involved. Number seven, the financial situation of the municipality with regards to its ability to finance the cost of development before receiving the improvement levies in issuing permits. Number eight, appraisal report on behalf of the developer. Number nine, independent appraisal report. Number 10, information from national databases. 11, average number of housing units per yard or per area. Dunam is a certain size of land in Israel in the area, in comparison with the number of housing units per area in the proposed plan. 12, existence of a sharing agreement. 13, reputation of the marketing body. Okay, so who markets it? Like, is it a company that marketed other such units before, well-known company, or just some random person that does that? 14, past experience of the marketing body. In promoting, just one second, past experience of the marketing body in promoting the master plan and whether there is a commitment on his behalf to the promotion of the master plan at the end of the sales. 15, concentration, decentralization in marketing companies. Are there several steps to the process or just one? Number 16, commitment to construction. Is it unilateral or real? So do they really going to build it? 17, guarantees. In conclusion, if there is one insight I would like you to take away from this entire post, it is that for every 100 project offers to purchase land for improvement, there are maybe 3 or 4 good offers. Wow, amazing. So it's only 3 or 4% out of 100 that are actually good ones to move forward with. Therefore, the importance of analysis and examination is critical because statistics are against you. Whoever is educated and chooses the right land can earn a lot and in a completely passive way. The traffic light method makes the examination and screening procedure technical and clear in the attached photos. Boutique buildings I build on land purchased by a farmer and Thawed. Lands in towing process successfully. The following post will be dedicated to real estate brokerage in Israel and especially to the real estate broker. Wow, this is an amazing building. Very beautiful. Wonderful work, Yossi. We love the way you educate us. It's really, really amazing. So that's it for today. And anyone that want to consult with us, so by all means, you can go to our site, Forum Real Estate USA. You can look for advice. You can switch to English here. So it's going to be left to right. And then under advice, you can fill up the questionnaire here if you want to invest with us, to get offering for investment. If you want to contact us, if you want to have a one-on-one consultation with us. So you can also join our educational newsletter. So you're going to get such posts every week. So you have many, many options here if you want to study courses or mentoring programs, investment, the community. We have an online community on the site with many experts and groups. So that's it for today, and we will be with you tomorrow for the next post. Have a good day, everyone.